Good morning to you, Enough Group. How you going? It's Steve Barker and I'm back. I'm out of Facebook jail. Get in! Oh, apologies for being away, but apparently I posted in too many groups at one go. So I think I've learnt my lesson. I think that's the rule that I broke. So hopefully I won't end up back in Facebook jail again. So I'm back. And I've learnt so much, and I want to discuss with you some of the things that I've noticed over the last couple of weeks whilst I've been away, and some of the lessons that I've learnt, and some of the things, sort of self-realisation really. So I want to talk to you about taking action. I sent out a newsletter. I've started sending out a newsletter. This is my 5th newsletter now. And if you're interested, drop us a line, give me your email. I'll include you in the email, in the weekly newsletter. But in that weekly newsletter, what I talked about this week was taking action and being committed and following through on what it is that you say you're going to do. People often say to me, how have you managed to achieve so much in such a short time? And I say to them, it's because I take action. I learn something, I implement it. I see something, I do it. I hear about something, I go to it. It's not just a case of, saying, oh yeah, I'm going to get around to that. Yeah, I'll do that next week. I actually get off my arse and I go and do something. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is there's a lot of people out there who are kidding themselves. They're blowing sunshine up their own arses. They're saying, oh yes, I'm going to achieve this and I'm going to do this, but they don't actually do it. So success is not what you feel you're entitled to. It is what you go and get. So it's up to you to get off your arse and go out there and find it. Find it in books, find it in inspirational people, find it on YouTube, find it on Facebook, find it in friends and family around you. Whatever it is you need to find, go and find it. Life is not going to come and give you everything that you need. You've got to get off your arse and go and do it. Now, you are your future. The space between where you are at the moment and where you want to be is where you are. And that's where you're going to start to grow. That's where you're going to achieve your dreams and your desired outcomes. By fulfilling that space, finding that gap between where you are, where you want to be, and how you're actually going to be able to get out there and go and get it. Now, whatever it is that you want to do, whether you want to change your career, whether you want to improve your finances, whether you want a better relationship, whether you want to give up smoking, whether you want to climb a mountain, whatever it is that you want to do, go and find your passion. Go and find your why, go and find your drive, because it is out there. And every step that you take along the way will define who you are. It will define what it is that you stand for. And that will then start to fuel you for where you want to be going. There's infinite ways to improve. I've mentioned a few. Reading, for me. I never used to read books. I hated reading books. And it's still not my favourite thing to do, but I get so much information from it. Audiobooks. I always have an audiobook on in the car. And they're all around personal development and understanding the human species, which is my speciality. So that's why I learn it. That's why I read it. That's why I listen to it, because I get all these little insights, and it slowly over a period of time builds up a massive picture. Now, a person who writes a book, they could write a book, it could take them 1 year to write that book. And in that year's worth of writing, they're exposing and they're sharing with you over 15 years of information, maybe 15 years it's taken them to collate that. So you're getting somebody's 15 years experience just through listening or reading a book. Hello Adam, thank you very much for joining. Hello Jonathan, thank you too. It's great to see you here. So you have everything you need at your disposal to be able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Now, how are you going to be able to do that? Well, the key for me has been goal setting. Goal setting is an amazing way to be able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve, to be able to have it written down on paper and to be able to hold yourself accountable. Now, goal setting, I've got a 5-year goal. It's really fuzzy. It's really sort of big picture. Then I've got a yearly goal. And then from there, I break it down into 90-day goals, and I break those down into monthly goals, and I break those down into weekly goals. And sometimes I break my weekly goals into daily goals. Now, I go on a group and I share my top 5 goals for the week in that group to make myself accountable, to somebody and say, this is what I'm going to achieve this week and I'm going to do my utmost to achieve it. Now, recently in that group, I've seen people making all sorts of excuses that they've been on training, they can't do this, they can't do that, or they've had a busy week, the kids have done this, and they just keep making excuses. Own your shit. That's what I say to people. Own your shit. If you commit to something, then do it. Do your utmost. In your top 5 each week, you do your utmost to achieve exactly what it is that you say you're going to set out to achieve. Now, when you're setting goals, you use the SMART principle. Specific goals. Measurable. How are you going to be able to measure them? Achievable. Your goals have got to be achievable, otherwise you're never really going to be able to achieve them and you'll just give up. Realistic. You know, are your goals realistic? If you've got a busy week coming up, don't set such massive goals. You know, and timely. When are you going to achieve these goals within? Well, within this period we're talking about within 5 days. So that's what I'm saying here. So measure your goals. You know, set the goals, be realistic, and make sure that you do everything you can to achieve them. Some goals, I've still been sat up till 10, 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday, making sure that I hit my goal, which is set on a Sunday, to make sure that I can put a little tick in the box. And that's all it is. It's just a little tick. It sounds pathetic, but it's made me move my business from where I was a year ago to where I am now. I'm actually 6 months ahead of my scheduled plan. And that's because I set goals and I achieved them. So, you know, life is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to achieve great things. Now, you either use it or you lose it. Okay, I've seen so many people who just mull around in a world of mediocrity, in a world of, yeah, she'll be right, you know, in, oh, I can't achieve anything, oh, I'm never going to be able to achieve anything, well, look at my past, of course I'm not going to be able to achieve anything. Bullshit. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. Just get off your arse and go and do it. You know, it's there. All the tools that you need are there. It's up here in your mindset. This is where we're talking about. This is what's going to drive you forward. So, you know, let's imagine, just for a second, that your whole life depended on finding water. Do you think that you would give up looking for water after 3 hours and just go, duh, shit, this is too difficult, I'm out of it, see you later? No. Your life depends on it, so you're going to start looking for water. You're going to find it wherever it is. You're going to dig a hole in the ground. You're going to dig a 10-foot hole in the ground if necessary. You're going to walk miles and miles and miles till you find water because your life depends on it. Now imagine if you put the same passion around your goals, your desires and your predicted outcomes where you want to be. If you went at exactly the same level as if you needed to find water because your life depended upon it, your life will change exponentially like that. So, you know, it's up to you whether you do it or not. I take a great deal of inspiration from nature. Nature for me is it's an amazing way to be able to watch the world happen in front of you. Now, you know, I've used this analogy before where you're flying up above you're driving along, and you've got a bird fluttering above and he's hovering. You know, it's one of those birds of prey and they're going to swoop down in a minute and attack. Do you think that bird up there is hovering going, oh, I wonder if that bloke in the car is wondering what my feathers look like. Do I look nice? Am I going to miss this? Do you think he's going to laugh at me if I miss this? No, does it shit? No, the bird doesn't give a toss. It's just up there. It's surviving. It's living. It's getting its food. It's getting what it needs to get done. Okay, it's not caring about me in the car looking at it. And if we can use this analogy, you know, like a lion, when it goes to attacking a gazelle, it doesn't run up to attack a gazelle and then go, ah, shit, I hope the gazelle falls over because I really can't be arsed doing this today. No, it attacks the gazelle with all its might, with all its fury, with all its passion. It knocks it down and it takes it down. Okay? Another example from nature. And this is what we've got to do in our life. You've got to have that drive, you've got to have that passion, you've got to stop worrying what other people think about you. Most people don't give a shit what you're up to. It's true. It's all in here. It's all in our ego. It's trying to keep us safe. So you need to be living, you need to be breathing your dreams and desires. Everything that you think about, everything that you do should be driving towards your desired outcome. Even if that's just having a better relationship with your teenager. You know, think about how you communicate, think about how you act, think about how you come across, think about what they see from their eyes into you. And that way you can open your eyes to possibly different ways of dealing with your teenager. There's just so many different things that you can achieve. You know, but if you're watching your life from your bedroom window and it's just passing you by, then you're going to waste it. And this is the whole point of the Facebook Live today, is to inspire you, to get you off your arse, okay, to get you driving towards your desired outcomes, because we all have them. We all have those ambitions. We all have those desired outcomes. But it's whether you've got the balls, whether you've got the get up and go, whether you've got the tenacity to push through. You need to be able to do whatever you need to achieve. You need to do whatever you're going to do to achieve your dreams. That's the key here. You need to do whatever it takes. Give up whatever it takes. You know, I've had people recently who've inquired in working with me and they say, oh, I can't afford it. Yet they smoke. They go out on a Saturday night on the piss. Now, I'm not judging these people. If that's their choice, if that's what they want to do, then cool, go and do it. But when they say to me, oh, I really, really, really want this, and then they say, oh, I can't afford it, and I say to them, well, what are you spending your money on? And they tell me those sort of things. I have to question how big their desire is, how big their commitment is. Do I want to work with those people? No. You know, so if you want to be able to achieve something in your life, you're going to have to give up stuff. You're going to have to give up time. You're going to have to give up, doing the cool things sometimes. You're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to put some money where your mouth is. Okay, and you have to get out there and do it. And that's the biggest thing, is following through, taking action. And it ties me back into the newsletter that I sent out this week. It's all about taking action. It's all about seeing something, going and doing it. It's all about hearing something, implementing. It's all about reading something, learning from it. It's all about seeing what other people are doing, modelling them, and going and doing what they do. Okay? I had a young gentleman this week. This is really interesting. I had a young man this week working with him. And I said to him, I want you to go away and I want you to find someone who you can model. And he says, I don't want to model anyone. I want to be my own individual. I don't want to copy other people. And then we discussed, what modeling was. Modeling is not copying. Modeling is taking some of the good traits from certain people and then using them yourselves or putting your own little twist on it. Like David Goggins. David Goggins is one of my role models. And one of the things that I take away from him is his cookie jar. Now, if you want to know more about this, hit me up. I'll tell you all about it. Okay, I'll even send you the link to it. Okay, but that's what modeling is. I just take certain things from different individuals or different systems at work, and then I implement them myself, and I put my own twist and my own take on it. It is not copying. So get out there and go and model some people. It's a great way to be able to start to achieve what you want to achieve. If they're already doing it, they've already been on the journey. Find out how they got on that journey. Find out what they did. Find out how they overcame their adversaries. Find out what was in their way and what they did about it. Find out what their fears were. Find out what their drivers were. Find out what their ambition, what their passion was about it. And that's the way that you can succeed. You can achieve anything in this world if you want to. All right, that's it. I'm Steve from I'm Enough Coaching. I'll be doing a few more Facebook Lives in the next few days, so keep an eye out. I hope this has really resonated with you. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate the fact that you thought that was great and it's resonated with you. Thank you very much for joining me. All right, guys, have a wonderful remainder of the day, and I will speak to you soon. Look after yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye.